மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to Argentina, and it's the year 2004. It's the game between Pelican and Milos, and White is about to try something rather unusual against the Alekhine, the move 4f4. You might think this is going back into some sort of four pawns attack, but in my view it's a system where White can hope for only equality at best, and I'm going to show you how it's done. As usual, Black should strike hard against White's centre by taking on e5, and then he should hit with c5 straight away. That is the best way to go. And probably already White's best move is to go c4 in this position, but the problem with c4, actually thinking about it here, is that Black need not go back into a four pawns attack. In fact, he can, well, of course he can do. That would blend in with our repertoire. But the move knight b4 is also very dangerous because White's centre is coming under immediate pressure. Point being that after d5, Black has bishop f5, and already Black has the advantage in this position. Meanwhile, if White goes a3, then Black retreats to c6. It's hard to see how White's going to maintain his centre. So back to c5 now, and we're joining Pelican versus Milos. Perhaps that's why White played knight f3. C takes d4, destroy the centre in typical Alekhine fashion. Queen takes d4, and now Black played knight c6, and already I think Black is doing very well in this position. White seems to have achieved a rather unique position. I mean, it's not like a c3 Sicilian, it's not like any sort of game I know, because there's no white f-pawn there. This might give White nominally attacking chances, but I don't understand why anybody would want to play this system. Now, the game Pelican versus Milos went on bishop b5. There was a game Kirill Georgiev versus Brochet, Paris 2003, where White tried a more careful move, Queen e4, and Black played a very good move now, g6. Bishop came to c4, knight b6, bishop b3, bishop f5, and the two players agreed a draw. When I first saw this game, I couldn't quite believe it. I couldn't understand what a very strong player like Georgiev was doing, playing this system, and then agreeing a draw, because of course Black is already a little bit better here. I still don't understand it when I see it now. So Queen e4 check, whilst it perhaps gives White some hope of getting a decent position, can't be much good. And bishop b5 check was the move that was played. However, Black's next move is pretty strong. He played bishop f5. Simple move, good enough, taking away the e4 square from the queen. Milos emerges from the opening with an excellent position and no particular weaknesses to speak of. Going back, Queen a5 check is quite tempting. This was played in the game Kuprachik versus Kengis, Podolsk 1990. But there, White manages to emerge with something resembling a good position after knight c3. Knight takes c3, bishop takes c6 check. And now bishop to d2. Perhaps this was what Pelican's intention was. He was intending to follow this game. And then knight b5 was played. Bishop takes a5, knight takes d4, castle on the queen side. White may be working up some sort of endgame edge in this type of position. However, as I say, going back to Pelican versus Milos, it's pretty clear that bishop f5 is a big improvement on that game. And now White starts getting into real trouble. He plays knight c3. Black plays e6. And White now plays queen a4. Continuing with the same strategy of mixing it up. But I don't think that's a very good move. I mean, I think going back, probably if White gets to this position, he should choose bishop g5. This is his best chance. Then bishop e7. Bishop takes e7. Knight d takes e7. Castles, castles. I mean, this is probably White's best chance for equality here. I'm not too sure he's made equality, having said that, but it's probably his best chance. But Queen A4, going back to the game, is not the world's greatest move, because after knight DB4, I think black is already putting white in great peril due to the weakness of C2. So bishop takes C6 check was the move that was played. B takes C6 check, and now white tried the very miserable bishop E3. Couldn't quite believe that move when I first saw it. I mean, I thought white had to castle. Problem with that is bishop C5 check, king H1, bishop takes C2 is pretty much a disaster zone for white here, given that B3 is answered by queen B6. And black just seems to have won material for no compensation whatsoever here. Well, white is clearly worse after that. So bishop E3 happened in the game. Bishop takes C2, B3, queen D3, exclamation mark. And already black's pieces are closing in for the kill there. Bishop comes to D4, bishop E7. It's pretty noticeable that whilst black can safety his king very easily, white has no such corresponding idea. A3 was played. What else? White can try and get castled after knight E2. Black simply castles himself. King F2, white can't even manage it. C5 opening things up. Bishop E3, rook FD8. I mean, you can see this is pretty disgusting for white. Terrible king position. Material down, clumsy pieces. So no wonder white played A3, but he ran straight into an excellent tactical sequence. Bishop takes B3. Just another very good move. You know, once you give a player like Miloš any sort of rope, he's going to take you apart. So queen takes B3 was played. Knight C2 check, oh dear me. King F2, knight takes D4. Rook A D1. And then the drubbing finished with queen takes F3 check. And black just wins material. So whilst 4F4 isn't quite as bad as it was made out to be here, white can only equalise at best, and that's a rather tenuous equality after bishop G5. And so with so many good lines, with so many nominally good lines available against the Alekhine, why should white ever get involved in this stuff? Beats me.
மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.